There's only one thing to do.
Drop it. Yeah.
Alright, what's up everyone? Welcome to Generation 1, Episode 3. I'm one of your hosts, Ninja Deathstrike. Joining me are our co-hosts. Why don't you guys introduce yourselves again?
I'll go first, Agrotech.
It's Agrotech.
Because you always go first.
I do go first because I'm quicker, I guess. I am RobotnikIsSexy, the YouTube channel.
Legend.
the legend.
Alright, and for today's topic, we're going to be talking about aesthetics. We talked about what makes a Pokemon good last month. So today we're going to talk about what makes them look good. So first we're going to cover a bit of news.
It's as if the stars aligned.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, they're doing a podcast. Let's release a new Pokemon.
We were going to do it Friday, but then we did it today, and then a new Pokemon came out.
Yeah.
So
we have that. Second, we'll talk about the gens as a whole and which ones we liked better and which ones are bad. And then for each gen, we'll go through and each of us will pick 2 Pokemon that we like and 2 that we dislike, and we'll talk about why and discuss them. And finally, if you guys left any comments on our last episode, we will critique the Pokemon that you requested as well. So that's going to be the schedule for this episode. And to start things off, yeah, we got a pretty big piece of news this morning or tonight.
Big piece
or
of something.
Yeah, a big piece of something, that's for sure. So let's talk about it, guys. We got a new Mewtwo thing that's not Mewtwo, apparently.
Yeah.
What do you think it is, and what do you think of it?
Oh. Who goes first?
Andy, you go first. We'll keep this.
Yes!
No.
We usually do.
Sad face.
Let's see.
Best for last.
Now that I'm going first,
I go
will,
last. So
have
thanks.
nothing
Best
to
for
say.
middle.
Let's see. It's definitely a surprise. There was a poster leaked, a very blurry photo of this Pokemon, and it looked really, really fake and bad. And yeah, I just dismissed it right away. And then today, it's like, oh, it's real, and yeah, kind of surprising. The official artwork looks a lot better than the stupid poster, so that's good. Yeah, I think it's a separate Pokemon instead of a form, or at least I'm hoping, because it would be better. And then that's pretty much all I have to say about it.
What do you think about how it looks?
Oh, right, aesthetics, right.
Just ignore the whole topic of the episode.
The official artwork doesn't look bad. He's got weird Politoed feet, and he's got like a Politoed swirl at the end of his head tail thing. He looks kind of good though. Doesn't look bad. Looks much better than the poster though, which I said. So aesthetically, I think he's okay. I think putting a tail on the back of your head is kind of dumb, but
It's not even like a tail anymore. It's like a tentacle now.
Yeah.
Or like, well, I don't know what the word I was going to say now. Never mind.
It's like
Right,
that.
Yeah. Like what?
Oh,
I don't know.
It's like that-
Oh.
that Star Wars character lady. who
Yes!
was
I was just
whatever.
gonna say,
Ayla
there's actually a
Sakura.
guy. It's like Jabba's manservant.
Well,
I was-
Ayla
that's
Sakura
actually what I
has
was gonna
2 of
say
them,
on that.
though.
Yeah, well,
And then-
females have 2 and males only have 1.
Are they the same
So,
race?
Yeah.
Mind blown. I didn't know
Yeah.
that.
And then, of
I'm
course-
a Star Wars nerd.
Then of course this
Tail.
is the Majin Buu thing.
Frieza.
Yeah.
hmm It's always
Like
it's always looked like Frieza anyway though. So
It reminded
big.
me of that guy from Star Wars. Jabba the Hutt's little manservant.
I like how the thing on his head kind of reminds me of the Omega letter in the Greek alphabet.
The little barrette thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe it's Omega Mew.
Yeah.
Or Mew Mega. Like,
Mew
those
Mega.
would be... Those would be
name
really...
doesn't sound terrible.
It doesn't sound terrible. I could get behind that. That thing I made up a couple of seconds ago.
Yeah,
It does
I noticed
look
that
kind
too,
of
Nick.
aerodynamic. Like it would fly very quickly because it's a spoiler on its head.
Yeah.
It's a spoiler?
Yeah, like on a car, you know.
Oh, okay. I just think of, like...
Yeah,
spoiler
yeah.
Yes.
show.
That thing, it has like a looping text that it displays spoilers 24/7
Yeah.
about everything.
It makes me think of a Halo.
A little bit.
Except it's not really because
I
it's attached.
definitely see the Omega letter though
Yeah.
too. The Greek.
I see
I'm
the
gonna-
Omega.
I'm gonna announce this. I almost lost my spot on the podcast, guys,
Mm-hmm.
because I liked it as a Mewtwo form, and
Yeah.
I don't care who knows it.
Screw you.
Dude.
Mewtwo doesn't need a form.
I agree that it doesn't need one, but I still don't. It doesn't affect how I thought about it. Like, I think it looks cool either way. I don't know. I did the leaked image made it look like a fetus face, and not in a Musharna way or a Mew way, just in a really bad looking way. Like
Yeah,
it looked like its tail was connected back to the back of its body, and so
Yeah.
it looked really weird. And now it looks a lot more. I think it looks badass. To be honest, I think it looks cool.
I don't. I don't think it looks bad. I think I'm still getting used to it. Its body just looks so small compared to its giant head tentacle. Like
Well, Mewtwo's head was.
it reminds me of a. It reminds me of a 1950s era movie Alien. That's what I see when I look at it, which isn't necessarily bad. I'm just glad that it's not Mewtwo. Like, I think Mewtwo's design is pretty much perfect, and it didn't need to be changed at all. Regardless of whether this looked good or not, just tinkering with something because you can is what's gotten Pokemon in trouble in the past. So I was very upset when I thought that they were going to change Mewtwo just because they could. But now that it's almost definitely not Mewtwo, I'm much more okay with it.
Mm-hmm.
It's strange, but I don't dislike it. It's just really weird looking. We'll see. I'm sure its stats are going to be
I hope it's
ridiculous.
shiny as a different color than Mewtwo's. Like, I hope
Not-
it's not just green, because then it'll look more different. Like, Mew's blue, Mewtwo's green, so this one could be like red or something.
Yeah.
Mm.
Like a
Yeah.
peach color. That'd be nice.
Or like yellow would be cool.
Yeah. Alright. Well, that's that thing. So let's move on to what we were planning to talk about, which is the overall aesthetic designs through the gens. We'll do the gens as a whole first before we break down into specific Pokemon, but yeah, why don't we talk about your favorite gens design-wise, and then we'll go through and talk about least favorites, which I'm sure we'll all agree on the least favorite. But we might differ when it comes to favorite gens for designs, so...
Like I said, I'm probably gonna lose fans. Maybe
Andy?
not.
Hey, what's your favorite? Or why don't you just kind of put in a list from favorite to least favorite?
The gens, not the Pokemon.
So, list my likes starting with first gen? My likes
No,
and dis-
we're
like-
just going to talk about the gens as a whole
Overall,
first.
the aesthetics of Pokemon from Gen 1, Gen 2, Gen 3, and so
Okay,
on.
so pick a favorite then.
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
Aesthetically, not like gameplay-wise.
Right. Aesthetically, definitely second gen, but I'm really biased. I really like second gen a lot, and especially Heart Gold and Soul Silver is really, really, really pretty. So, yeah.
Okay. And then go from there, like go down.
Oh, from there. Oh, probably first gen after that, and then 5th gen, and then 4th gen, and 3rd gen, aesthetically.
Okay. All right. Nick, what are yours?
3rd gen is first. Which that's not. This is very. It's very close between 3rd and 2nd in terms of which one's first. Because like in 2nd gen, it's so hard for me to pick a Pokemon that is bad looking. I almost love all of them. You know what I mean? Like they're all good. But it's the same way for me for 3rd gen. So I just went 3rd gen because I prefer more of them, and I think that they fit the geography better. You know, as a whole. So that's probably why I would go with 3rd. So it's 3rd, 2nd, 1st, 5th, 4th would be my ranking, because I think 4th sucks. I hate it.
Yeah.
I will always forever hate 4th gen.
Wow.
Mine would be first. Is 1st gen. I think it's the best. I really like the simplicity of the designs in 1st gen. And when I was going through trying to pick out the ones that I didn't like for the next segment, I had a really hard time after one. Like, there's one Pokemon I really dislike, and that's it for 1st gen. So even though maybe it doesn't have the highs of some of the other gens, I think it's just consistently the most solid design-wise. So I picked that one as first. 2nd was really tough for me. I ended up putting 2nd gen second, but it was really close between 2nd and 3rd. So, because I like both of them a lot as well. They both add quite a bit of flavor, I think. So mine goes 1, 2, 3, and then 5th gen next, and again, last is 4th gen. I think 4th gen's awful. There are a few bright spots in 4th gen.
Yeah, I agree.
Overall, it's just, ugh.
Internet high five.
Yeah. So, Andy, why don't you tell us why you don't like 3rd gen? Why was it at the bottom for you?
I think aesthetically, like appearance-wise, like the buildings look really flat and ugly. I was thinking more about the region and less about the Pokemon. The Pokemon do kind of get a little weird in 3rd gen, because you kind of notice that it's not designed by the same people anymore. Because 1st and 2nd, they look really connected. They look
well,
like
they were
made
done all at the same time, too.
Well, you have to think about it this way. 1st and 2nd gen are the same continent. You know what I mean? Like
They were all designed at the same time? That sounds
Yes.
crazy.
yeah, that's why
Yep.
Ho-Oh
I mean,
was in the
first-
first episode of the anime.
Oh, you mean 1st and 2nd gen?
Yeah.
Right,
Okay.
yeah.
I thought you were going to
That's why-
say 1st, 2nd, and 3rd gen were all
No,
designed
No,
at the
no,
same time.
no,
And
no.
I'm like, no,
yeah,
no, no.
1st and 2nd. Right. No, I was agreeing. Like, that's
Well,
why they look so...
The first batch is sublime. Looks really good. I like it. And the 3rd batch, grouping 1st and 2nd as the first batch. The 3rd batch is a little weird, and I just thought the towns looked really ugly. But I do like the Pokemon in 3rd gen quite a bit.
Yeah. If we're talking about the layout of the towns and stuff, I would definitely put 2nd gen as my favorite. But when it comes to the Pokemon, it's not quite there.
Oh,
Region-wise, like if we're talking geography, 3rd gen is really low because of how much water. I mean, there's just so many routes in the like you counted them. It was like 18,
11.
whatever.
Yeah.
Well, there are 11
but
in a
that's
row.
still like ridiculous. They could be all condensed into 3 routes, and they didn't do it. I mean,
There really aren't any memorable cities either in Gen 3.
Pseudopolis City was kind of memorable.
Pseudopolis, yeah, and maybe you could make an argument for Moss Deep and Fortree, but
But
Yeah.
I mean, the Game Boy Advance was kind of a limited console too.
yeah.
So
It was more powerful than the original Game Boy, though.
this is
so.
true.
It's like kind of a backwards argument to say.
Well,
it
you
was-
can't say that the towns looked flat in Gen 3 and not that they looked flat in Gen 2, because it
Well, I
was
think
all
they look
flat.
flatter. I think the Gen 1 and 2 buildings look better for whatever reason, they just seem to pop out more. I think it has to do with artistic design. Which, yeah, I don't know. What was I going to say? I was going to say something. Oh, right.
So
when I judged...
Yeah, do your
When
Pokemon list.
Okay, when I
Instead.
judged which things I like the best, I was doing an overall judge. So, like, Pokemon and the regions, so that's more detailed.
So if you did just the Pokemon-wise, what would it be?
For Pokemon, like, the Pokemon I like the best.
I think he's talking about rating the gens on the Pokemon. Yeah.
Probably first then.
Okay.
Just, there's just too much to like. I couldn't actually pick a dislike for a Pokemon. Like, I don't know, like Mr. Mime is pretty dumb, but you still like him. I don't know. He could be a throwaway. Maybe he'll be a dislike because no one here likes Mr. Mime. Maybe. Should I list
If you want to, you don't have
my
to.
my like dislike generation thing?
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Are we doing that? Okay.
You
Well-
didn't finish your list of gens that you liked because of Pokemon.
Okay. I'll just do that. All right. This first, second, probably fourth, and
That's surprising.
well, fourth had a lot of evolutions to Pokemon I liked,
Okay.
so that played big for me, and I liked all the starters, like a lot.
4th gen did have good starters, I'll give you that. Best since gen.
Yeah.
I don't know. I like the only one I liked was Piplup.
Probably fifth and then third. Probably shock you. Because there are a lot of Pokemon that I just don't really care for in 3rd gen.
Alright. Fair enough.
It's all
yeah,
subjective.
now, let's get into a little more specific. So what we'll do is we'll go through each gen as a separate thing. So we'll start with Gen 1, and we're going to list... First, we're going to talk about 2 Pokemon we like. So we'll each take a turn doing that, and then we're going to talk about 2 Pokemon that we dislike, and then we'll move to the next gen. And then after that, we'll do the viewer requests. So, Andy, why don't you start us off talking about Gen 1? Which 2 Pokemon did you pick as 2 that you really like?
Okay. First of all, straight away, Gengar. Really like that guy. It was difficult for me to pick a second one that I liked because I like all of them, but with my nostalgia glasses, I really, really like Golem. I would always have a Golem on a team, and I just liked Golem a lot
Okay.
for aesthetic reasons, so he'll be my number 2.
Explain what you like about each of them.
Well, Gengar's face and attitude is really great. And the fact that he's a ghost, and he's like the only ghost, so he pretty much has a type just for himself, and yeah, he's just really cool. And I don't know, I've always kind of gravitated towards rock and ground type Pokemon, so I've always liked Golem a lot, and you can get him really early game and evolve him really quickly, and I just like how he looks, pretty much.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Nick,
Yeah.
what about yours?
My favorite is probably Raichu.
Okay.
I don't know. I always thought he was cooler than Pikachu.
I agree.
Pikachu is just so overrated, and I love Raichu's tail. I just think I thought it was really cool that they, instead of making it this big old stupid lightning bolt, they made it this really tiny lightning bolt. Like, it just looks more like...
You mean that it's
shrunk
it's
and
not
got
the whole
thinner,
tail.
yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I just thought his ears were cool. I just think he looks. I think he's really cool. And then for second one, I picked Charmander because I think he was really the first Pokemon that I ever saw other than Pikachu, and we actually tried to make a. This was back in 90 whatever. It snowed. We were living in Minnesota at the time. We tried to make a Charmander snowman, and we could not figure out how to make the tail. So it was just a Charmander without a tail. But he was just...
It was kind of just like a lizard.
It was a mander.
A mander.
But I remember having a toy of Charmander where you put your fingers on the bottom of its feet, and it had these two like metal things that like when it sensed your finger, it would like talk. It would be like Charmander or whatever. And like I don't know, I've always loved like Charmander. Those are my two favorites from Gen 1.
Right. I like Raichu a lot too. I really like the ears, like you said, and the coloring is really great with Raichu. The dark orange and brown just really goes well together. My two, I also chose Gengar, which anyone who's watched any of my videos is probably not a surprise at all. I love ghosts, and Gengar was the first ghost. I just think the design, I love the ears and kind of the head hair spiky thing, and that big like Cheshire cat grin.
Smile, yeah.
And the coloring is simple but effective. It really makes the face stand out. So he was my first choice, and my second choice is actually Mewtwo, who conveniently enough just came up. I just remember like the first time I saw Mewtwo, I was blown away by how badass it looked. Even in Gen 1, it looks really weird in Gen 1. But,
he's hunched over.
Yeah, he's got like a hunchback, but his arms come down, and he just looks really powerful. You know when you fight him in that cave that he is not going to be easy. I remember trying to catch him forever, and then finally getting him and just destroying everything. I think the tail is fantastic. Again, really simple color scheme. I love the little like tube that connects his head to his back.
Yeah.
That's a really nice, simple touch that makes him pretty memorable. I like the shape of his antenna things. Just his head design and kind of the chest plate, I just think is really, really solid.
I like how his fingers and things are balls.
Yeah.
That sounds weird, but I mean, I just think it like complements the rest of his design.
I think
it's kind of a tree frog thing.
Yeah, what happened with a lot of the legendaries in the later gens is they tried to make them look cool, doing air quotes here, cool, by just like throwing a bunch of crap on them. They're like 18 different colors, and they've got pieces sticking out everywhere. And
I think
so overcomplicated.
Garchomp is a classic example for that, because he's just got little spikes sticking out, and it's like... Yeah.
And Mewtwo it doesn't need that stuff to just exude power just by looking at him. So
I also really liked Raichu a lot.
And
I just want to say I had Raichu and Golem on like every starter team.
Yeah.
So I liked them both quite a bit.
All right. How about two that you didn't care for so much?
Is it me?
Yeah, it's you.
Okay. I liked all of them, but I guess if I had to pick, probably Mr. Mime, since he is a mime and he sucks. I mean, yeah. I never really used him either, since he was, you could only get him by trading in game.
Yeah.
I think in 2nd gen you could actually catch him in the wild. I'm not sure though. And probably Licky Tongue. Don't really care for him that much, but again, I like all of them, even Mr. Mime and Licky Tongue. So I'm just kind of splitting hairs with Mr. Mime and Licky Tongue.
Okay.
Being critical.
Nick?
Number 1 is Jinx. I hate it. I don't care if it's based off of that stupid Japanese culture. I hate it. I just think it's aesthetically disgusting, and I mean it just.
So what you're saying is you're racist?
No, I'm not.
You're a purplist.
Anyway, these allegations are false. And Tangela, I don't like Tangela. I think it. I don't know. It looks like a. I don't know. It looks like a pile of spaghetti, like moldy spaghetti with shoes.
I like his little shoes, though.
I know. I think the shoes are adorable.
I think it's Yoshi that
Real
fell
cute.
into a thing of moldy spaghetti.
No, actually,
Tangela.
I think Tangrowth looks like Luigi hiding in a bush.
Maybe they're both Luigi.
I think Xenon pointed that out. That looks like Luigi or something. But that is a different game in the future and not first gen, so we won't talk about him.
The future.
My two, I picked Mr. Mime too. I think it's terrible. It's just like the most unoriginal piece of crap I've ever seen. For one, it's called Mr. Mime. That's its name. Okay, that's its name. And for two, it's a mime. It's awful. And it's not even like, it doesn't even, I hate it. It's so dumb. I hate its stupid little curly feet, and I hate its balding blue spiky hair, and its big circle cheek thing.
Wow.
I hate it.
Some pent-up aggression here.
Yeah, that is, it's, like, that was not even, I didn't even have to think about it. That was easily my number one. Everything about it is awful.
This podcast should be therapeutic. That.
My second one,
How did that make you feel?
Yeah.
hate it. My second one, I picked Magmar, just because he has a butt for a head. He's almost cool, but not quite. Like, he just fell short, and he fell on his face. And
Yeah.
his weird arm frills, I don't understand.
They look like the little like frills from like a French shirt.
No, it looks
Yeah.
like a bullfighter.
Or that's maybe that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, a matador.
Yeah. And I don't like his face.
It reminds me of the quote from Cool Runnings where he's like, "I could draw a line down your face and make it look like a butt."
Yeah. Parts of him, the color pattern is kind of off-putting too. I realize it's just fire, but I feel like it's not blended very well, especially on his stomach.
It's not blended at all. What are you talking about?
Yeah. So it's kind of off-putting. It looks like ketchup and mustard. It's just, it doesn't. He's not terrible, but he's not one of my favorites. So that was mine.
He's like one of those girls taking a duck face picture.
Yeah.
That'd be a great nickname for him, actually.
Duck face.
Yeah.
Butt duck face.
I've heard he's pretty good in Never Used Here, but that has nothing to do with aesthetics at all. But I was always a blue version man, so I always liked Magmar a lot.
I did too. Plus, I mean, if you didn't get Charmander, he was a pretty good option for your fire type. All right, let's move on to Gen 2. Gen 2 likes.
Yeah. Or is it me again?
Yep.
If you're gonna go first, at least know you're going first.
All right, I know. I know now. Okay, I like Crobat.
Okay.
He's amazing and good, and yeah, I mean Zubat and Golbat, don't really care for them that much. And then along comes Crobat, who is super fast and can use Sludge Bomb and, can use, Fly and Confuse Ray and annoying stuff like that. And he's awesome. And then other like is Scizor, because I have no choice. I just aesthetically, he looks really good. Like
Yes.
if you're a little kid and you see Scizor, you gravitate towards that thing. It looks amazing. And then you find out that it is amazing, or at least it turns amazing in 4th gen. Like especially amazing.
So what
Yeah.
do you like about Crobat's design?
I don't know. I really like its wings. They might sound weird because they're like really flimsy and small. And I like its little Pikachu ears, and I don't know. I just like it.
Okay.
Get your ears.
And for the dislike, do I go to dislike now?
Nope, not yet. We'll get those.
Okay.
Okay, I guess it's my turn, and my favorite has changed recently. I used to really not like this Pokemon, and then even in the past 6 months or so, it's just grown on me. But Murkrow, and I don't know if it was you that coined this or I said it and you went with it, Andy, but we said that it was like the Frank Sinatra of Pokemon because it has like the built-in fedora to its head. I don't know. Just makes me... It's a very suave Pokemon, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And also can be kind of annoying, but I like him. And my second favorite, which is... I don't know if it's really second favorite. They're kind of tied. But I've always loved Larvitar. I don't know why. I just thought he was the coolest thing ever. And then it turns into Tyranitar, which I wish was a little less fat, but other than that... I don't know, his little spike on his head and like... I don't know, I just thought he was awesome looking.
Yeah, I think Larvitar does a good job of being cute, but also implying that he's going to turn into something awesome later. Like, you can tell just by looking at him, even if you didn't see Tyranitar.
And Pupitar has got to be one of the worst second evolutions ever.
Pupitar's pretty stupid. Second gen has a couple really bad second evolutions.
But surprisingly,
Like
not at the lower of my... Not my least favorite Pokemon. Spoiler.
All right. And what did you say the first one was?
Murkrow.
Murkrow, right. I really like Murkrow, too. Well, my two favorites, I actually had a hard time picking, because there are a lot of really outstanding Pokemon in Gen 2. My first one was Umbreon, just because it's my all-time favorite Pokemon ever. It's the full moon Pokemon, so it was not even a contest. I love everything about it. I love the sleek body design and the sleek ears and tail and the yellow, very simple yellow accents. I think are really effective at giving it the character that it has. And the red eye, I really like that. So Umbreon was
really cool too.
Yeah, the shiny is good too. So Umbreon was my favorite, hands down. But choosing a second was really tough. I almost picked Scizor, because Scizor is fantastic. I almost picked Steelix, because I think Steelix is amazing.
He's pretty cool.
In the end, though, I decided to go with Houndoom for sheer badassery. It's a Hellhound. It's a Doberman Hellhound. It reminds me of those dogs from Resident Evil, which were terrifying. I still remember the first one when it would jump through the window, and I threw the controller and screamed. So yeah, and I just think it's a great design. Again, great color palette. You know, not overly designed, but with just enough accents to give it character. I love the little skull collar thing that it has, and the ram's horns I think are fantastic. Yeah, so Houndoom gets my number 2 vote.
Those are good picks.
I wish his horns were not so curvy. I don't know. That's
really, I like them.
I just wish they were just a little bit more angled. Not like straight or like like triangle shaped or anything. But I don't know. They're just like really round to me.
I really like them. That's actually one of my favorite parts of the design.
I like the things on his back, like the ribs.
Yeah.
I thought that was cool.
All right. Let's go to dislikes for Gen 2.
All right. Dislikes. I have Hoppip. And Stantler, because he's very forgettable and bad. But I probably... I like Houndoom a lot, and I just kind of forgot it was in 2nd gen. So I like him too.
That's. I mean, you covered Scizor, so he was one of my top other ones. So it's good we didn't pick the same one.
It was it's really difficult to pick Pokemon I disliked, but Hoppip and Sandler.
All right. What about Hoppip do you not like?
How it knows Splash.
Yeah.
Hang on one second. I'll be right back.
All right.
Let's see. What else about Hoppip? I don't know. It's a very simple design, which is good.
Okay, I'm back.
But I just don't really like it that much.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, Nick. How about yours?
Sorry, people were being loud in the other room.
fine.
Sunflora, because it's stupid.
You like Sunflora is worse than Sunkern?
Yes.
Wow. Why?
Let me look at them. I don't know. Sunkern has a little. He looks like he could like fly around with his little leaf helicopter. I don't know. Sunflora just like it looks uppity. It looks like I'm better than you. Look at me. I'm a sunflower. I don't know. I just don't like it. I hate it. And Sudowoodo. I don't like Sudowoodo.
Or Sudowoodo.
Again, he just looks like, I don't know. I don't have a reason. I just don't like him.
Okay.
Unbiased. I mean, maybe it is biased. I don't know. Unjustified. That's the word I was looking for.
All right. Well, I guess for my second least favorite, I have kind of a tie between Flaffy and Croconaw. I think they're both really stupid looking. Flaffy, the color, the sickly pink cotton candy thing, its head, I don't know what's happening with that hair. It's like a really bad, like 80s hair, like big woman 80s hair. I don't really like. And because I like Mareep and Ampharos a lot, but I just don't like Flaffy at all. And the same goes for Croconaw. I don't understand what is happening with its design. Like, it's got a diaper thing. It's like a caveman, kind of, or an egg, but it wasn't an egg before. I don't get why it has that thing, why it's wearing that.
It's definitely a caveman thing, like a
Yeah.
Fred Flintstone get-up.
But it doesn't... I don't understand why that happened. Because the other two don't really follow that pattern at all. It's just kind of thrown in there, and it sticks out like a sore thumb to me. You know, if you look at the three of them, one of them clearly does not belong with the other two.
I never minded it. I like him.
I don't like it. So, those two. And then, you know, you could throw Pupitar in there as well for terrible middle stage. And then my definite, absolute least favorite, which I cannot believe either of you guys passed over, is Unknown.
Oh, right, yeah. I forgot he was even there.
It's the alphabet. It's such a gimmick, and there's 26, 27, 28 of them now, right? Because we have question mark and exclamation point. So there's a ton of them. Like, they take up a whole chunk of the Pokedex, and they're just not clever. And also, in the trading cards, every time there's a set with Unknown, there's always some of them that are rares or hollows. And you pull a hollow Unknown, and let me tell you, it feels bad. Because, oh, I got an H. That was my special card for this pack, an H. The letter H. They're just, they take up so much room, and they're gimmicky. I don't like them at all.
Well, that's a good reason.
Alright. Gen 3. Moving right along.
Moving
Back to
right
you.
along. Ba, 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 ba. Yeah, okay, Gen 3. I like Ludicolo. I like everything about Ludicolo. Even if it is racist, I like it. I like its sombrero, and I like its what is it called? The thing I can't remember the name for it.
Maraca?
No, it's like a coat.
A poncho.
Oh, poncho.
Yeah, it has a poncho
Uh-huh.
made out of leaves and stuff, and it has a sombrero, and I don't know. I just really like it a lot.
Coconut.
Yeah, it does have a
Yeah.
coconut.
I agree.
It does?
Ludicolo is a really great design. It is a coconut, yeah.
Oh.
It has a
Pretty
coconut
sure.
on the very top of its sombrero.
Well, I mean, like, if you look at its body shape, and the poncho is the coconut fur. Coconuts are kind of hairy.
Oh, that's what you mean. Oh,
So,
yeah, it could be that.
It's a coconut, like it is a coconut, and also a poncho. Mexican guy.
Yeah.
No, I think Ludicolo is really great. Good choice.
And then I really like Aggron because it's a tripping hell beast made out of metal and rocks, and it's going to kill you. And it what is it, like eat mountains or something? Or
Yeah.
I think that's Tyranitar who eats mountains.
I know that Aeron eats train tracks. I'm sure that Aggron eats rocks and metal also.
Yeah, he just looks really badass. I like his his little nostrils. They're just kind of burnt in holes in his face, and he's got these jagged teeth. They're just kind of whatever which way, and he's got these spikes jutting out of his armored skin.
But not too many spikes.
Not too many. He's got like 3.
Yeah.
And yeah, I wish he was better in game, but aesthetically, I like him quite a bit. I think he was one of the guys where I think I saw a leaked list of Gen 3 somehow somewhere, and I looked at Aggron, and I'm like, I have to have Aggron. He was one of those.
Yeah, I had him on my first team too.
I really like him too, and his shiny is really cool too.
What's
Yeah,
his
he's got,
shiny?
It's like a bluish hue to it, and then he has red eyes.
He's got red
Oh, that's
blood eyes. Yeah, he's definitely super cool. Not as good in game as Tyranitar, but he's still cool.
He got
Still-
better though.
He got better,
better.
but he's got problems. But it doesn't have anything to do with aesthetics.
All right, Nick.
Mine are probably Bennett, because I think it's really cool how his mouth is like a zipper.
I'm glad you picked him. He just missed my list. so.
I don't know. I always preferred him to Dusclops. I prefer Dusk Skull to Shuppet, but I prefer Bayonet to
Dusclops.
yeah. And I think that's talking about shinies. That's another subject. But Bayonet's really cool, and I really like Flygon. Flygon was he's probably one of my favorite dragons, to be honest. I like how his eyes are he's wearing goggles or whatever.
Yeah, I could never figure out as a kid whether they were big bug eyes or goggles. And
I think they're I think they're both, but
I mean,
no,
I think
they're just
remind-
goggles.
they remind me of a World War I aviator goggles.
Yeah.
I think they're really cool.
but I don't know. I really like him. I wish Vibrava was better, because I also like Vibrava a lot. He has a really cool shiny too. It's like red. It's like red and black, like Rayquaza.
Oh,
cool.
that's cool.
But then I wish that Flygon's was like that, but it's not.
Shiny Flygon's still pretty cool though.
Yeah,
Isn't he
it's
blue?
it's like blue. Let me look it up real quick. Yeah, it's everything that's the
Wow.
darker green is blue, and everything that's red or whatever is orange.
Yeah.
And blue and orange are complementary colors, if you didn't know that. So they
Oh,
go
I
well
did
together.
You see, if you kind of look around you, you'll notice they're everywhere. Blue and orange,
Movie posters.
everywhere, just everywhere. Yeah, it's my favorite complementary pairing. But I like orange a lot. But that's not related to Pokemon. Exactly.
All right, mine. I I was gonna pick Banette, but I didn't quite, and I'm glad that you did because he's really cool. He's definitely up there. For my 2, my first one was Mydiana, even though he's kind of terrible in game.
Really?
I think I love the design of like the wolf. I mean, it's just a wolf. But wolves are really cool. Yeah, or a hyena, I guess. He looks more like a wolf to me.
He deserves an evolution because he definitely looks cool.
I mean, especially for something that you can catch on the first route, he turns into something pretty cool looking. I just really like the matte black and white color palette. You know, the only color on him is his eyes, which are red.
He, like turned into a like a werewolf.
Yeah, no, that'd be dumb. we have
Zorark,
what's his face? Yeah, Zorark, and he's kind of dumb. I much prefer just a straight up wolf to a werewolf. So yeah, I think again, not an overly designed Pokemon, which is something that I really like, and just good colors. And then my second one was Cacturn. It was either Cacturn or Banette, and I ended up going with Cacturn. I guess because I'm a really big fan of horror movies, and he reminds me of a horror movie monster. He's like an evil scarecrow.
Yeah.
I think his hat is amazing. It's my favorite part of his design. I love the kind of tri-corner hat that comes down over his face.
Yeah.
It's really cool.
I like Cacnea too.
Yeah. Like his body's not that cool. It could have been better, but his head is just really well designed, and I like it because of that. He also has some really good card art, which helped. So those are my 2. And they're both dark types, coincidentally. Gen 3 had a lot of really good dark types. And Absol, too.
Yeah, Absol's really cool.
I don't think Absol ever really got good until 4th gen, though. I think he was kind of
good. That was last week, month, year.
Well, I guess it depends on what kind of good you mean.
Well, we can get aesthetically better as time goes along.
Well, that's true.
Yeah, I mean, I liked Absol for his design. Because he's not that good still. He's okay.
He deserves
He's
an
good in
evolution
lower
too.
tiers. But yeah. I don't know what they would do, though. I'm afraid that
They
they'd
could
make
just turn
it
into
too
a yin-yang thing.
Yeah, but how? Like, is his
I
face
saw
gonna
a really
be
cool one. Let me try and find it, and I will, if I find it, I will put it in the video.
If all he needs is higher base speed, he's really slow.
Yeah.
But yeah, aesthetically, he is definitely very cool.
I like the Pokedex entries about him too. That helps. That he tries to warn people of disasters, but he's just become like the scapegoat. They think that he causes them.
That is the one that I saw, and if you got rid of the things on his face, I think it would be really cool.
Doesn't look like Absol at all, though. I don't see Absol in that.
If they made the top thing on his, like, if they made his face a little more like Absol's face.
Yeah,
like
maybe.
the horn on his head, make it more like that, and then get rid of the things on his, those 2 things on his cheeks. I think it would look really cool.
Oh, that reminds me. I really like Mewtwo's feet.
Yeah. We talked about that.
I said that.
I don't think we talked about
that.
his feet, though.
I said
Nick
his
did.
appendages, which includes feet.
Well, I know, but his feet are like haunches, and they're cool. But
Yeah.
yeah, that's pretty much it.
All right. Dislikes for Gen 3.
Dislikes for Gen 3. I don't like Gulpin or Swalot. I think they're dumb. I think they're basically... I mean, just use Muck. There's Muck. He is actually a pile of slime. You don't need to do pile of slime again with, like, a face and a mustache. And, I don't know, I just never liked him. A Pokemon I have mixed feelings for the other dislike is Hariyama, because I do like Hariyama, I just think his design is awkward.
I feel like it's a missed opportunity.
What do you mean?
It's like the sumo wrestling Pokemon,
Oh.
and it could have been really cool, and instead it's just kind of okay.
He's got gigantic ears, and it's like, why?
They look like holes in his head too.
And he's got these yaoi hands that are like the size of buildings, and
Well,
I don't-
that's because he's a sumo wrestler. I don't mind the hands.
It's
I think the
weird-
hands proportionally are a little too big. And then he's got like this strand of something attached to his head or something. It kind of looks like he has a bow tie on, but it isn't a bow tie, and it's just really...
You know what it makes me think of? It makes me think of he was like in a barrel, and then the barrel exploded,
Yeah,
and then the little flaps, like, you know what I'm talking about?
I think I think this is an early case of the over designing that we get a lot in the later gens, where there's just too much stuff on him.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Yeah, definitely.
yeah, I understand why you dislike him. I like the hands personally, but I do see the flaws with the design.
I like the hands, I just wish they were a size smaller than what
A
they are.
size smaller, an 8 instead of a 9.
Yeah. So
Okay.
that's mine.
Nick,
Mine are Volbeat and Illumise. I hate them both. I don't know why they exist. They just look stupid. Especially Illumise. I mean, he's got this stupid, like, curly purple hair. He looks like if Beethoven was a Pokemon and it was like a happy bug. I just hate it. And then Volbeat has a stupid tail.
I always liked
Surprised.
I liked Volbeat just because he looks like a greaser. He's got like a greaser jacket kind of thing going
Yeah.
on.
I don't know. I think it looks stupid. He
Oh.
looks like, I don't know. He's all fat, and then his antennas are all squiggly.
He's
I
a
don't
bug.
know.
I think
Okay.
there are much worse design choices out there, but you know, fair enough. He's
Yeah,
not the
I'm-
greatest.
I'm surprised too. I kind of like Illumise better than Volbeat.
I mean, I would say
But-
that, but I still hate them both.
Okay, surprising, but fair enough. My first one is Grumpig.
Oh.
I don't really like pigs. I would maybe actually pick Spoink over Grumpig. I don't like either of them, so we'll just go with Spoink instead. Grumpig's at least got, I don't know, he's not as bad, but Spoink, it's a pig spring. I'm actually happy that you kill them every time you knock them out.
Oh
Because
damn!
they're awful.
Dark.
Yeah, I hate them. I think it's dumb. I don't think
What
Grumpig's any better.
What if PETA
Like-
is listening to this?
PETA hates everything, so I don't like pigs. I think a psychic pig is stupid, and
Well,
a
you don't
psychic
like-
pig that is a slinky is even worse.
There's
So,
a difference between a slinky and a spring.
yeah, whatever.
It
Still,
doesn't fall downstairs.
even
It
worse. A
hops.
spring is even worse then, because it doesn't do anything on its own. So yeah, Spoink is one, and the other is Chimecho. I think Gen 3 is
Oh,
just
yeah.
full of really bad psychic types.
I forgot
Gardevoir-
it existed.
But yeah, Chimecho exactly is one of those Pokemon you forget exist, and then you see it and you remember why you've erased it. It's a test tube.
It's a bell.
It's also a test tube. I think it is kind of a bell because
What do you mean?
it's got
Kind of.
it's a
It
chime.
is. It's a bell. Like
Yeah.
its tail is a bell that rings in its head.
Yeah, I guess the way the Gen 3 sprite looked, it looked more like a test tube kind of thing, whereas now it definitely looks less like that. But it's completely forgettable. I like the coloring, actually, but that's it. It's just bad.
I actually, I have a friend who really likes Chimecho, but
Really.
yeah, but I again, just a few moments ago, I forgot it even existed, so
Yeah.
that goes to show. Exactly. I was actually going to list Armaldo, because I think it looks really awkward and bad. But then I bumped him off for Swalot Gulpin.
Yeah, Armolo is like a crappy Cubby-Tops.
He's
Dude,
definitely
he would've been cool if his
overdesigned.
eyes weren't so stupid.
He's got feathers on his neck. What's the deal with that?
And he can't, and like his arms can't, they're stuck there. Got like T-Rex syndrome. Yeah.
I've always
big ball joints.
I've always liked using him in game for some reason, but the neck feathers and his eye stalks
I
just don't.
do like the eyes. I'll give him that much. I think they're weird in a good way.
I think it would look cool if they got rid of the eyes and made the red things his eyes, and put like spikes on the back of his head or something.
Yeah, maybe. But they're just the little things, little weird things about him that make me question its existence.
Alright.
I like him though.
Yeah, I like him.
I forgot when we were at Gen 2 for dislikes, babies. All babies.
Oh,
I-
maybe.
I like
Baby
Elekid.
Pokemon are a huge mistake.
I like Elekid.
Elekid is
Hey.
pretty adorable.
I just don't think they serve a purpose other than filler.
Well, while I agree
Most
with that,
of
I
them
still
don't even
think
learn attacking moves. Like
but this-
Elekid.
You're
and
not talking about
Magby
aesthetics
are-
though.
Yeah, but I think even aesthetically they're unnecessary, which is my whole thing with Chimico. It doesn't. It's just completely unnecessary.
And Chimico is an evolution of that other Bell poke. No, that's a
Yeah,
pre-evolution in 4th gen.
that's a preview. Yeah, it didn't
That's
exist.
like a baby in 4th gen.
Chingling. Yeah, it's a little bell.
With a bow.
Yeah.
Speaking
Um,
of 4th gen,
Yeah, speaking of 4th gen, let's go ahead and move into that with the ones that we liked first, because I'm sure the dislikes are going to take a while. So,
I think we should.
damn.
We're at an hour. So,
we're at an hour.
Yeah, we should probably speed
No.
things up a little bit.
No.
Yeah, or we can just go, we'll just make it a long episode.
Okay. I'm just. Okay.
Just go till we're done.
I think we only have 2 more gens, so it's...
And there's only like 5, I think, total for the viewer choices, so.
Okay, well, I like Empoleon a lot. I also like Yanmega a lot. Like, I really, really like Yanmega. He looks very cool. I really wanted to include Torterra on the list, but those Empoleon and Yanmega are my first 2. I think most of the Pokemon I actually like a lot are just evolutions of pre-existing Pokemon, not counting the starters.
that's a lot of Gen 4, anyhow. Like, they're
Yeah, it's like
large
half a Gen 4.
percentage. Yeah, or either
Like-
Prevos or Evos, so it's
I like
understandable.
Rhyperior quite a bit.
Really?
I think he's ugly.
I think he's butt ugly.
I was just excited that he existed. But I guess he is pretty over-designed.
I think my favorite.
So what do you like about Empoleon?
Well, he's majestic, and he's a giant killer penguin, and he was what I used when I actually had a team that I Wi-Fi battled with, and he was half decent. I bred my very own agility Empoleon. I had agility, toxic, ice beam, and hydro pump or surf or something, and it was good. And yeah, he's not over designed either. He's got like this dress suit on or something.
The tuxedo.
Yeah,
'Cause
sure.
He's a penguin.
He's a penguin.
He is a penguin.
Yeah, I really like Yanmega too. I'm glad that you brought him up. He just missed my list, so I'm glad someone mentioned him. I think he's really good.
Yeah, they got the whole red-green complementary color scheme. Really
Giant
good.
terror bug.
Giant Terrabug. That definitely 4th gen is when. 4th gen is the rise of bugs actually, because Scissor was kind of garbagey until 4th gen, because they gave him that real. Well, they gave him physical bug attacks, and then he excelled with Technician
Yeah.
because of Bullet Punch. in
Aesthetics. On track.
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying, fourth gen is cool.
I really like Yanmega's head. Since we're still
Yeah,
talking about.
Yeah, he's
I
got like
the eyes,
these
I like
giant
the little
teeth.
fangs. Yeah,
He
it's
looks like he
oh,
could
yeah,
kill you.
I'm the kind of bug that will kill you. Yes.
I just found a picture
should
that
run.
it's like, you know the Me Gusta face?
Yeah.
It's like Yanmega, but it says Me Busta.
All right, Nick.
Yeah.
What are yours?
Mine are Glaceon, because I think it's like, it's probably, it's tied with my favorite, aesthetically, my favorite evolution. Jolteon is my
Really?
favorite.
Wow, that's surprising.
I love its like little emo bangs. I think it's cool. I don't know. I mean, I'm not like into like emo things, but it just like it has the little bangs and then like the two little things that come down. I don't know. It doesn't really look icy to me, but I still think it looks cool. And that's probably my favorite Pokemon on 4th gen. And then I really like Toxicroak.
Oh yeah, he's quite good. I'm glad you brought him up because I really like him too. I kind of
just think
forgot he
he's
was
like-
fourth gen.
I'm a sucker for poison types.
Uh-huh.
And I just think he, even though he has kind of a French mustache thing going on, I think he looks really cool. And I like his like how he can like kill you with his middle finger.
Oh yeah, I remember in Pokemon Battle Revolution when he fainted, he would flick you off.
Actually, if you really look at it, the red thing is kind of higher than the rest of his fingers. It looks
Yeah.
like it comes out of the top of his wrist, but it's still pretty cool. I like him.
Yeah. Yeah, he's very good, and Glaceon's good too.
And he's one of the he has the like what's his name? Croagunk has like one of the least amounts of steps to hatch an egg, other than like Zubat.
Yeah, I like both the evolutions. I think I like Leafeon a bit more though. But I did like both of them. My two were Honchkrow,
Yay!
and
Yay.
because he's the mob boss Pokemon.
Who makes
I
an
just think he's
appearance in
great.
something soon?
Yeah, I think he. There's just really not a whole lot to not like. Really great design. It's colorful, but not too colorful. I don't really like his tail thing. I don't know what that is doing, but the rest of him really works. Like again, he's got the fedora hat, and his chest plume makes him look like he's wearing a suit. Yeah, and he's a mob boss. So I think Honchkrow is really cool. And then for the second one, I had a really hard time choosing between Gliscor and Frostlass. But
I
in the
really
end,
like Frostlass too.
I decided to go with Gliscor, though it was a close choice. I think Gliscor is one of the other evolutions that really works, especially when you look at Gligar. It's a really good progression, and it's a vampire bat, and he's got a crazy face. So I think he's just really good. I really, really like the cape that he gets as he turns
Yeah.
into Gliscor, like the black cape, and the clamps.
Got the clamps.
Yeah.
I'm making them.
So those are my two. How about dislikes for Gen 4?
Dislikes. There are a lot of...
There's so many choices. So
And they're all, like, physically small, insignificant Pokemon that you forget about immediately. My number one is Wormadam. Screw that guy.
It was mine too.
It's like, why does it have 3 or 4 different forms? Why does it look so ugly? What I really dislike about its aesthetic design is how it has, like, this strand of vine or something at the top of it, but it isn't attached to anything. And it's like it's supposed to be attached to something because like the
But it
actual
never is.
sprite has it just coming off of the top of the screen or something. But like in PBR or whatever, it just has this little antenna, and it looks terrible, and it's terrible. It's horrible. It is
But
a
it's got 3
trash.
different forms.
Yeah,
3 forms.
there's a steel
3.
bug.
It's like Mewtwo now.
I really hope Mewtwo stops at that additional form and doesn't get more, because that would make me happier.
Okay, I'm changing one of my things because you said that.
This Romadam is terrible. For the other dislike, I initially wrote Cherim, but then I remembered Ching Chang, or that bell thing. Chingling. I forgot it existed because I hate it so much. It's like, give a pre-evolution to a Pokemon that was terrible to begin with.
Yeah.
Which I guess they did that with, in 4th Gen, they had Mime Jr. as well. They really hyped the heck out of Mime Jr. I remember before it was released. It's like, brand new Pokemon, Mime Jr. And I'm like, oh boy. Yeah. That's
All
my
right.
dislikes.
Okay, so number 1 for me, it's tough because I hate all of them. Not all of them, but a lot of them.
Yeah.
Perugly. Its name has ugly in the name.
I kind of like
No,
Perugly.
it's stupid. It's fat, and
I agree that Perugly was extraneous. Like, there's, again, no
They-
need for it to exist.
Look
We've
at
got
its
Persian
ears.
and Delcatty already.
its ears are stupid. They look like
Oh, I forgot
wings.
about... I forgot about Delcatty. I hate Delcatty with a burning
I like
hellfire.
Anyway,
Its stats are...
be more than Perugly.
No,
and
Perugly's
my
better.
other one is
Design-wise, though, I don't care what they do.
Design-wise.
my other one is
But go on.
Licky Licky.
Oh, yeah, you
It's just why? Look at
It is
things
pretty
already
awful.
pretty bad, and then they go and make it worse. I mean, it's like 10 times more fat than Lickitung. It has these little yellow things on its stomach that, what do they mean? Who knows? And then I don't know. It's just looks stupid.
The tongue is terrible, yeah. It's awful. It doesn't... It's just like a big plank.
At least
The,
Lickitungs like rolled up. This one doesn't. It's just out there. And then he has this stupid pompadour haircut. Like, I just hate him. He's just stupid.
The
Fat
things on
jelly
its
monster.
stomach always remind me of like a Wi-Fi signal.
But why is it pointing to his crotch?
Yeah, it's better not to ask.
And he has a little bib, and I hate him.
All right. Mine.
Oh.
I need to give Mine Junior a shout out here. It didn't make the list because I didn't want to pick Mr. Mime and Mime Junior. It seemed redundant, but Mime Junior is
tasteful.
everything I hate about Mr. Mime and then a baby. So that just makes it even worse.
I think Mime Jr. looks better than Mr. Mime.
It might actually, because it's kind of a weird clown thing. But anyhow, I didn't want to talk about him. I just wanted to give him an honorable mention. Number 1 is Palkia. Its penis. It's an overly designed flying penis.
It doesn't even look like a Pokemon.
No, it looks like a dildo.
It and Dialga are terrible.
Yeah,
I
they are
actually-
both terrible.
I would have put them both in the top of my list of dislikes, but Wormadam...
Yeah. So, and it's just like even getting over the penis head, everything else about it is equally bad. It's got these stripes, kind of, but then it's a triangle on its neck, and then it's got this shoulder pad
Paulson, yeah.
with I don't know what's going on there.
Looks
The
like
wings,
a peppermint.
I guess they're supposed to be wings coming out of its neck. Yeah, it's just got so many different clashing design things going on. Like the hands and the shoulder pad don't match at all. the shoulder thing is clearly just stuck on there for more. We need more. It needs to be bigger. Make it. Give it shoulder pads.
Its shoulders look like peppermints.
Yeah. So Palkia is kind of awful. Dialga also terrible, but I went for Palkia over Dialga. Just this is kind of an arbitrary choice. Either of them could be on there. And then my second one, my least favorite for Gen 4 probably is Rhyperior. Because it is fat and ugly, and there's, again, too much going on. And also, because Rhydon and what's the other guy? Rhyhorn. Are so cool looking. Yeah, like, Rhydon is awesome looking. And his evolution should be awesome looking, and it's not. It's this big, fat piece of crap.
He's got feelings too, you know.
What is going on with his head? Like, what is that headwear? What is that?
It kind of makes me think of headphones.
Kind of, but then it goes down over his shoulders, too. And he's got a belt, a utility belt kind of thing going on. And
and then a cod piece.
He's and he's fat, like bad fat.
And his tail looks stupid too.
Yeah, his tail. I'm okay with the tail. It's not the best. I think I like Rhydon's tail better, but I get the idea of the tail as like a wrecking ball.
But it's just like
so that's okay. I think the tail.
I think they tried to make him look like a construction worker.
Yeah, I do too, and that's dumb. He shouldn't be that. He should be an awesome rock monster, not a construction worker with headphones and a codpiece.
And a utility belt.
And a utility belt.
Did you know that Rhydon was the first designed Pokemon ever?
I did that. Yes.
So it's kind of weird for him to get that.
And on top of all that other stuff, he doesn't match colors with Rhydon at all. He's just a completely different thing. So
it's because he's wearing a protector.
Yeah.
For whatever reason.
All right. Last Gen 5.
Yeah. Okay. I really like Conkeldurr. When the Pokemon were leaked. Yeah.
Wow.
Really.
Explain, please. This should be good.
When I looked at all the Pokemon, I saw Conkeldurr, and I thought, this is the manliest looking thing in the universe.
Steroids, the Pokemon.
So you didn't think Bozo the Clown on steroids?
I thought that, but I enjoyed it.
Alright.
I mean, he's got two pillars that he just bashes your head in.
And he just holds and doesn't do it? Why does he have those?
Why is it part of the Pokemon?
Yeah.
Why does... I just really like Pokemon with accessories, too. Like Marowak. I actually should have listed Marowak as a Gen 1 favorite. Yeah. I'll just go ahead and say I like Marowak better than Golem.
Okay.
That's a good decision.
Yeah.
Golem's a respectable choice.
Golem's
Marowak
good.
is cool. I like Marowak better, but I didn't have a problem with them.
Pokemon with accessories, I don't know, I just like it. He's so awesome and powerful looking. I mean, he may look like Steroid the Clown.
What is the thing on his head?
Yeah, it's like he has a big tumor. Probably from all the steroids.
It is. It is.
And then he has like a beard.
Yeah, he does have a little beard. He's got a little wispy goatee. Actually, I thought when I first saw him, I thought he had an eye patch because his nose is so gigantic that it encompasses like the other place where his eye would be.
Yeah.
But yeah,
all right.
Yeah.
And the next one?
The next one. Now this one is probably just as shocking. I really like Garbodor.
I like Garbodor too, so I won't give you any shit for this one.
He's going on me.
It really grew on me. Because, like, when I first saw it, I'm like, oh, that's something and a half. But then, like, I don't know, it just, over time, over the years, it grew on me like a trashy disease. And I really like
Like the
it.
tumor on Conkeldurr's face.
Yeah, it's like he has just a mono Pikachu ear. He's just got one. And it's just this little
So why do
piece
you
of
like
flesh.
Garbodor?
I really like its vertical mouth. It's really creepy. It's not symmetrical at all. Like, one of its arms looks like it's snapped off, and it's like really short, and then the other one is like this huge spaghetti meatball arm, and he's got like gemstones in him,
I
and
always assumed it was like candy.
Yeah, I think that's garbage.
I like how his arm
It's
is like
industrial
rebar.
waste. Yeah.
yeah, it is garbage. His name is Garbodor. and he's got like these cute ears, and I don't know, I just
Bunny
really
ears.
like him. Yeah,
No, I like Garbodor a lot too because it's so ugly.
It's
But it's
basically an
endearing.
exploded trash bag.
Yeah.
it's like, I don't know, it's really different too.
Yeah.
because you'd
I do
never
like the asymmetrical aspect of it a lot.
yeah, you'd never see it coming, and then there it is.
So maybe we will get a chair in 6th gen.
It's quite possible.
Mine are number 1, no questions asked, is Scrafty.
Mhm.
I think he's like the coolest thing ever. I mean, his typing's awesome, which I know is an aesthetic, but you guys talked about it, so I'm going to talk about it. I think it's an interesting typing, because if you think about it, it's like he's like torn between two types of fighting styles, you know, and then he has like a hoodie and a mohawk. He's like the punk Pokemon,
Yeah, he's the punk Pokemon.
which
He's
is awesome.
definitely-
And Chandelure is up there
he's
too,
one of mine too.
because he's really cool. I didn't even know he existed. Like I played through the game almost blind, kind of. At least for a lot of the late Pokemon, I didn't know what they looked like, and so I didn't know. I knew Lampent evolved because somebody said something about it, but I didn't know how. And so when I finally got the Dust Stone and like did it, it was like, this thing's awesome. Like it just, I mean, it's like a chandelier with fire ghosts.
Mhm.
I don't know.
Yeah, I remember the hype for Chandelier because it bumped off Porygon Z for special attack stat. And Porygon Z was like the king of special attack for years. Some people were like freaking out. But yeah, it's really cool. It's very Tim Burton.
Yeah. What did you say that the second one was, Nick? Chandelure and
Scrafty.
Scrafty.
Scrafty. Right, Scrafty. Yeah. I like
my
I like
picture.
Scrafty a lot too.
Yeah, the picture.
Yeah. Mine were also Chandelure, so I'll just keep talking about it since you brought it up. Yeah, it's definitely my favorite, and it's actually probably my top 5 favorite Pokemon of ever. It's great. It's a Chandelure, and it's also kind of a Jack-o'-lantern, and I've wanted a Jack-o'-lantern Pokemon forever. The shiny sprite especially is very Jack-o'-lantern-esque because it's orange and brown. But yeah, it's a haunted lamp. I love the little curly appendages and the face that's really dead and weird and eerie. So
yeah, it's got
Chandelure,
it's like a stitched up mouth.
yeah,
It's very simple too. It's not overdone at all.
Yeah,
Yeah.
For real.
and then go ahead.
I was just going to say it also has one of the most horrifying Pokedex entries.
Yeah, all 3 of them are kind of terrifying.
Yeah.
And then my second favorite for Gen 5 is Caracosta.
Oh yeah,
I know we have lots of turtle Pokemon already, but I really, really like this one for some reason. I
went
think
sea
that,
turtle.
yeah, the face in particular is just really great.
Looks like it has a Doctor Doom mask.
Yeah, the little spike things that come down under its eyes, I don't know why they're there, but I like them a lot. And I like kind of, the armor aspect, the chest plate. The coloring, again, not too many colors, and they all work together well. It doesn't have extraneous spikes and whirly doodads on it. Just the armor. The shell, the shell's a little bit complex, but not too much. So I think that's cool. Yeah, so that was my second one for Gen 5. All right,
Good
dislikes.
choices. Dislikes. It was kind of hard for me to pick, but I eventually picked Cobalion because I don't like it. It has a really awkward design, kind of like Hariyama, where it's got like these spikes coming out of its sides.
Sorry, I'm going to interrupt. I also wanted to give an honorary mention to Terrakion for being awesome.
Oh right, yeah, he's quite good.
He's
He's
fantastic.
pretty cool, yeah.
Anyhow, continue.
Yeah, Cobalion is really awkward, and he's got little booties, like little boot shoes, for absolutely no reason. And I like
all of the trio does.
all the trio of shoes.
They all have
Yeah.
little different shoes.
Because they're musketeers.
Well, I know, but he's got little dumb booties.
I don't know.
I mean,
I like Baleon. So
like Virizion has like these awesome looking high boots,
hmm
but Cobalion just has these little tiny shoes, and he's got those spikes coming out of his sides, out of his butt or something, and they're just really random. Kind of like how Entei has spikes coming out of him randomly. I guess they were kind of going for that. Yeah, he just never really liked him design-wise. And then it was hard for me to pick a second one, because I kind of like all of 5th Gen, which is probably surprising. Let's see, I think I picked Pignite, just because it's so weird.
it's pretty dumb.
It like turns from a pig into a little wrestling man, and then into Ganon, the flaming hell beast. But yeah, it was hard for me to pick a second one, but I picked Pignite.
I feel like that whole evolution line is really disconnected. The Tepig to Emboar, like other than the coloring, they just all are so drastically different.
Just like the revealed Mewtwo Pokemon, I remember seeing artwork for Pignite and just dismissing it right away, because I'm like,
That's the same way I was with Tim Pole.
Oh, I forgot about Timple.
He has
Oh,
this stupid face on him. Like,
well, forget Pignite. What's the middle form of the Seismitoad line? Palpitoad looks
what is that?
horrendously,
Emperor Palpitoad.
horrendously bad. Like, it looks like...
Well, Seismitoad has boobs on his head. I mean, the whole line
No.
is stupid.
No, Seismitoad has like giant warts.
takes the cake, though. I mean,
Yeah,
look at
it's
it.
got this
It also has
stupid-
boobs on its head, but it doesn't have arms.
It looks like an illustration. It looks like an illustration from Schoolhouse Rock, I think is what it's called. It looks like it's from the 1970s. Like, it has a stupid smiley face, and it's like, what? Yeah, I really don't like it. So I'll take back Pignite and do Palpitoad.
All right. Good. Nick?
Alomolomolomol.
Big Love
Alamamala.
Disc.
That thing, I hate it.
I don't say its name
I hate it.
Alamamala.
ever. I just call it Big Love Disc.
Alamamala.
It's so, like, out of all of the Pokemon they could have ever thought of, and then not make it related to Love Disc. I
Love
don't
Disc
know
gets
what they
the
were
chef.
thinking. Like, why?
Yeah.
And it looks like it's performing goats while you're like in game.
Performing what?
Look it up. Actually, don't look it up. It's bad.
Oh.
Anyway, my other one is Gothitelle. I hate that thing
Oh,
too.
you took Gothitelle. That was one of mine.
Yeah. Like
It's so dumb.
they're gonna base a Pokemon off of a subculture. Okay, the punk one worked. That's okay, but this Christmas tree looking thing with crappy lipstick and weird eyes, I hate it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is.
And
just
it's like almost like a human. Like, how is it a Pokemon? It's like Mr. Mime, except a girl and a Christmas tree.
Well, to get off on a tangent, because this episode isn't long enough yet, I don't know if either of you guys subscribe to Jaywitz.
No.
I think so.
Okay, well he does, like the Pokemon facts of the day or whatever, and his last one was interesting information that's in-game in Pokemon games, and in Gen 4, if you go to there's libraries, some books you can read, and in Japanese, one of them says, I think this was Gen 4, pretty sure, that Pokemon and people share a common evolutionary ancestor, at least some species, and that people used to marry Pokemon because they were like the same. So that explains some of the more human-like Pokemon, that they have a very common evolutionary ancestor.
Still weird.
Mr. Mime and Ash's mom. That's all I have to say.
Yeah.
That's it.
But yeah, Gothitelle's horrible. That's not meant to excuse it for being awful. It's especially if they were going to do a goth Pokemon. Like I don't have a problem with that because I think Scrafty worked out pretty well. But this is really dumb.
And like, there's male Gothitelle. Like,
Yeah, and also its head. What is happening with that hair? Like, how does that represent being a goth? It's got like weird discs coming out of its face.
I don't like its face. Its face offends me.
I like the hair part
if you
of the
got rid
face.
of the things coming off of its head, it wouldn't look as bad.
Yeah, like the black kind of spiky down hair. I don't mind, but that's about it. Yeah, it's bad. All right. Mine, Gothitelle was one, but I'll pick a new one since Nick covered it. Woobat was my first one. Woobat is so dumb. It's just it's a puffball with a pig nose. It's like, hey guys, no Zubats in this game. It's worse.
And they didn't even try to go for a new name. They just named it Woobat.
Yeah.
It's like the same syllables as the same.
As
Well,
Zubat, yeah.
It woos you with its heart attacks.
So does Zubat zoo you?
Yes.
Yes, with confusion.
Yes.
You get
Zoo.
Zoo.
I don't like it. It doesn't have a face, really. It doesn't have eyes. Zubat is just 1,000 times better
It doesn't have
designed.
eyes, they're just closed.
Whatever.
They're little W's.
Okay, still dumb. Like, Zubat, in comparison, is a masterpiece. And I actually don't mind Zubat's design. I think Zubat is pretty well designed.
Yeah,
This,
I
on
agree.
the other hand, is just bad, and I hated it. And then my second one, since Gothitelle is gone, I will take Conkeldurr as a dislike. I just think it's bad. It's ugly. The colors are ugly, brown and pink, and it's veiny. And I don't get the cinder blocks. Just ugh. Because, yeah, I don't mind Pokemon having accessories, like Farfetch'd even is okay with its little leak. And Marowak is fine with its bone club that is its mother. But I just don't understand, and I don't understand the progression, like wood to metal to cement.
Wouldn't metal be more heavy than cement?
You'd think, wouldn't you? But no. Concrete is the final form.
I guess you couldn't break a metal bar in half and use two of them.
Well, he
Yeah.
makes his own concrete, is the thing.
That just makes him even worse. Like, how is that? How is that a positive?
In his Pokédex, he is the inventor of concrete. Like, he brought it to the humans.
That just makes me hate him more, and I don't even know why.
Well, that's fine. I'm just saying for trivia.
Yeah,
It's like saying
I
a
mean,
Charmander
interesting.
created
That's an
fire
interesting
and brought
fact.
it
I
to
didn't
humans.
know that, but it just makes me hate him even more because I bet he's a total douche about it. He's like,
He
"Hey
looks like
guys,
if they
remember
made-
when I invented concrete and I gave it to you? Aren't I great?
You owe
Look
me."
at how ripped I am." Like, I bet that's a pickup line he uses on human women. Like
What?
a pickup line that he uses on human women.
I-
He's like, "Yeah, baby,
You know what
I
I
invented
think?
concrete," and then he like flexes, and then the girl's boyfriend gets pissed, and then because he's a steroid junkie, he goes into a rage and he destroys the place, and that's the story of Conquador.
I think that he looks like if Tap Out had a Pokemon. Like the brand of clothing.
Yeah.
He would wear Tap Out shirts. Or
would.
what is the other one? Like I forget the other one. There's two of them.
I just never tap out. So anyhow, all right. Well, that's it for us. We need to go through these these guest requests real quick. I don't think we have a lot of them, so it shouldn't take too long.
I know Ike wanted to know or wanted us to critique Arcanine.
Okay.
And
So,
I think
he's
he is a
awesome.
very solid Pokemon. He was originally supposed to be a legendary, but for some reason, because they thought people would get confused, they made him a regular Pokemon. But yeah, I think he's really solidly designed.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
No
Go ahead,
flaws,
Andy.
really.
I was just gonna say what you said, and I agree. And he has these awesome flame hairs. He's got
Yeah.
hair that looks like fire, and they're like connected from his feet to his shoulder, and they look really awesome. And yeah, there was always like, you always had those friends back in the day in Red and Blue where like one would staunchly defend Ninetales and one would staunchly defend Arcanine, and there were like two different camps. But
I think they're
for what he is, yeah, they're both amazing. But
Yeah,
like,
but,
I don't know if you know what I mean.
Yeah, I
Yeah, I
think
do.
Arcanine. Another thing too is I really like where the design comes from. He's kind of like a legendary guardian. I know here in Asia, in Korea you see it sometimes, but especially more in Japan and China, around shrines and stuff, you'll get these big stone statues that are kind of like lion, tiger guardians, and that's what he's based off of, and they're really cool looking. And I think that design translated really well into a Pokemon. Like Nick said, there's really nothing not to like. Everything about his design
Well,
adds to it.
I don't know why everybody thinks he's like a tiger or a lion, because canine is in his freaking name.
Yeah, but the lion things that he's based off of are kind of a mix. Like, they're not lions.
Well, like
Per se.
people use the whenever you say, "I wish there was a lion Pokemon," they're like, "Oh, there's Arcanine," or "I wish there was a tiger Pokemon." Oh, there's Arcanine. But he's
Yeah,
not
he's
really,
definitely not either of those things.
Luxray is kind of a lion.
which I
Luxray
really
is a
like,
lion.
by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's definitely not a tiger. He's a legendary beast, which is where the name comes from as well. And in addition to him being originally going to be a legendary, he's a legendary guardian in Asia. So, really cool. Was that the only one for yours?
For mine, yeah.
Andy, do you want to
Okay.
read yours next?
Well, we already talked about Golem. Golem is
Yep.
one of them. And Hydreigon.
Okay,
Yeah. Hydreigon.
go ahead.
Oh, okay. Yeah, he's pretty cool. One of my guilty pleasures. I really like using him, especially in random matchup. He's got really nice colors. He's got kind of violet-y purple and some kind of blue. Purple and blue are nice, and then he has like a really dark blue. It's kind of a blackish color. Lots of really dark, cool colors, and he has 3 heads, except two of them are like... two of them are arms, and they're like little puppets. I always named my Hydreigon Jim Henson because he's got puppets for arms.
I really like him. I think it's an interesting design. I wish his wings were a little cooler.
Yeah, his wings are kind of weird.
Like they're like wannabe Giratina wings.
Yeah.
And
It's like...
if he had just like cool like bat wings, it would look so much cooler.
Well, I like his wings for what they are, but they don't seem to logically function. Like, they don't... I'm not convinced that they allow him to fly. Like, I guess he flies using dark powers.
Dragon
'cause-
magic.
Yeah, dragon magic things, because those wings look flimsy and not aerodynamic at all, but I like them.
Yeah.
They kind of make me think of Dr. Seuss Thneeds.
I don't remember what those are.
I'm looking it up right now.
Yeah, I don't know how to really
They never
describe
really
it.
show the Thneed though.
Yeah, they do.
No, they don't.
And we'll look it up
Anyhow.
right now.
They just show his arms.
But yeah,
I
he's
don't
cool.
know. I guess I disagree a little bit. I don't care for him that much. He's okay, but I think again he's kind of a wasted potential. When I heard there was going to be a dark dragon, I got really excited
Yeah,
that it was going to be something amazing. And then we got Hydreigon, and I was like, it's all right. I mean, the colors are nice. I like the idea of the Hydra, but I don't... he's a little pudgy, which is too bad. And he's just okay. Like, that'd be how I'd describe it. Okay. And for a dark dragon,
That's not okay.
that's not okay. Yeah. I wanted something awesome that is going to bring doom to everyone. And that's not Hydreigon.
Yeah, I mean, if you compare it to Tyranitar definitely wins out in every category. Like, he's just much, much cooler and better designed. But yeah, he's still good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you have any more?
There was a bonus question. Besides Pokemon's, do you games or franchise you like to play? Which...
Why don't we maybe save that for the next
yeah,
one?
we could say
Because
that
we're
for the
already
next
long.
one.
Yeah.
Because we're almost 2 hours, give
Yep.
or
Alright.
take.
Did you have any? Were there any more then?
No, I didn't have any more.
Okay, I got a few. Let's see. 9 Sharkman. I think I'll go with one of the Gen 5 Pokemon that got a lot of hate when it came out. Klinklang.
Hmm.
So I need to pull a picture.
I think it's basically just like Magnemite, you know. I think people give Gen 5 a lot of crap, but it tried to parallel Gen 1 a lot, which I kind of liked. Like, you could see, like, oh, this is the Magnemite of this generation. You could see this is the, you know what I mean? And I thought that was, I mean, I don't know. It got kind of old a little bit, but
I'm not a big fan of Magneton, so I'm not a big fan of Klinklang. I don't like the Pokemon that are just like, hey, there's more of them now, and it's a new thing. Like Magneton, Dugtrio, and Klinklang is kind of in the same boat, where they just add more, and then it's a new guy.
yeah.
So, it's not bad, per se, but it's not really my thing. And it's not just Klinklang, it's all of the guys that are in that boat.
Oh, can I say that I hate Magnezone too?
I
Really,
really
I like
Magnezone.
I
Magnezone.
don't like it.
It's really weird because all of everyone's favorite 4th gen Pokemon are just evolutions.
Yeah.
Like, not counting Rhyperior, since he does kind of look dumb, but I like him for other reasons that aren't aesthetic. But yeah, most of them are just evolutions, and they're really cool. And like Weavile, very cool.
See, I don't like Weavile that much.
Sorry for the
I like
tangent.
Anyhow, what do you guys think of Kling Klang?
Oh, right. He's cool, I guess.
He's kinda
Very
meh.
simple. Yeah, definitely a meh thing.
Yeah.
He doesn't learn anything. I mean, they gave
What
him
do you
more
think?
moves later, but, aesthetically, I mean, he is just kind of meh.
I like his Japanese name, Gigagaru.
I will say I like Kling Klang better than I like Magneton. I'll give him that.
Not me.
So, all right. Let's see. Unbound Diviner asks, "How about Lilligant?"
I really like
Oh.
Lilligant.
Yeah, Lilligant is cool.
Even competitively, I love using it.
It has a big niche competitively.
But anyway,
The design?
aesthetically, I think it's really cool. I always name mine Professor Sprout because it looks like a sprout of something.
I named mine Babushka.
Oh, that's a good name. Yeah, I really like it too. I think it's really, really good. It almost reminds me, in the same vein as Gardevoir. It's like the kind of girly Pokemon, but I really like Gardevoir too, and I think Lilligant really works in being pretty and neat.
I like his little flower hat.
Yeah, I really like the hat too. Next, I'm getting feedback on someone's speakers are too loud. Now it's gone. Next, Ice for a Cake says Empoleon. We kind of already talked about Empoleon though.
Yeah.
X Digital Beam. I've been really fond of Latias for a while now. Talk about her.
Latios is better.
I like Latias, but at the same time I hate it for reasons that aren't appearance-wise. I just have a huge grudge against the Latios ass
Yeah,
and
the Latis.
the Latis. So whenever I pursuit kill a Latios, I just feel really good because I hate them. But yeah, design-wise, they're all right.
I like how they look like jets.
See,
Yeah.
I don't really like that. They were Latios and Latias were Pokemon that I really liked when they came out, and I've actually grown to dislike them more as I look at them now. I don't like the jet thing. Nick, they remind me of the Riards from Tales of Fantasia. That's all I can think about when I look at them. They don't really look like Pokemon to me anymore. They just look like jets or Riards.
I've always had a soft spot for Latios.
Yeah.
I didn't. I don't know. Yeah, but I already said why. Did you know that Latios was originally Blaziken?
What?
Like they had a design for Latios and Blaziken that was just the fusion of the two of them,
Huh. That's
and that
weird.
was gonna be that Pokemon, but they separated them into two Pokemon.
Strange, but
I'm
interesting.
sure someone knows what I'm talking about.
Let's see.
I don't.
XX Speedy 21 says, "I'd love to hear what you guys have to say about Kabutops."
Oh, I really like Kabutops. Probably less than most, since I was always an Omastar guy. But yeah, he's cool. Definitely.
I like everything but his head.
I like his head.
I just think his head
Because-
looks weird.
His head is kind of based on a horseshoe crab.
Yeah, well, I mean, I understand. I just...
Horseshoe crabs are like famous in Maryland. We're one of the only places that has them still. So it's endeared to me for that reason.
I do like Kabuto, though.
Yeah,
Looks
I
like
do.
a little Metroid.
But yeah, I really like Kabutops too. I like everything about it. I think the back razor fins are really cool, and I like the horseshoe crab head. And, you know, Pokemon that have size for arms, generally pretty cool. So, alright, and the last one we actually already talked about. Frank Mendoza says, I guess Jinx, but we already covered Jinx in that it's awful. Does anyone want to add anything to that?
No.
hate on it some more.
But
It's
I
awful.
posted the picture of the Latios
I see it.
Blaziken.
It's weird looking.
You see-
Yeah.
It's kind of cool looking though, but definitely.
It's getting late.
Yep. Okay, and that is the last question. So that's gonna do it. Thanks for
Yeah.
listening, guys. If you listened the whole way through, I know this is
You
a
get
long
a
episode.
gold star.
Yeah, almost 2-hour long
Yeah.
podcast.
You get
I
3
hope
points from me.
I hope you folded a lot of laundry while listening to this.
They won't always be this long, but I feel like we just talk about what we have to talk about, and then it'll be as long as it is. So I thought this was a pretty fun one, though.
There's a
And
lot to talk about. I mean, there's 649 Pokemon, soon to be over
Soon to be more.
700. Which, by the way, means they have to make a Pokemon with the Dex number 666, which I am uber stoked about. I hope they do a reference of some kind, but anyway.
Next month, we don't have a topic planned out yet, so you can just leave general questions, even if they're not exactly Pokemon related. Like we'll talk about the other video game one next month. We just didn't have time today. So yeah, feel free to leave questions, please, because it gives us stuff to talk about, and we'll come up with some kind of topic for next month. So thanks for listening, guys.
Be sure to subscribe to all of us.
Yeah, if you don't, we'll find you and we'll kill you.
Not really. We'll find Jinx to come and find you and kill you.
Well, I'll do it if you don't.
Andy will.
Yeah.
We'll just encourage him. But that is going to do it. Thanks for listening, guys, and we'll catch you later.
Bye.
All right. Bye.